Morning class, how are you? I hope you all are healthy and safe at your home. So today we are going to start chapter first, computer system. Actually we have already studied this chapter when you were in class. Also we have completed the question answer exercise and we have prepared for the oral test also. But today I am not going to share this bookish study material to you. I am going to give you a presentation so that we can revise that chapter according to presentation, so that you can again get a brief description about this chapter. Okay, so shall we start? Let's start. This is chapter 1, computer system. I am going to give you a differentiate between what is computer and what is computer system. So, a computer is an electronic device that can be programmed to accept data, then process it and generate result, which means output. Like we all have seen in today's era, or we can call it modern era, all the devices around us, not all but there are a lot of devices to which we can call computer. For example, your smartphones, your washing machines, etc. First of all, the computer was made just to do some specific calculations, but as the passage of time, in today's era we use computer system not only for doing some calculations, but there are a lot of tasks which we can do from our computer. We can use the computer is used in education, business, entertainment, defense, medicine, transportation, publishing and designing areas. And what is computer system? A computer along with additional hardware and software together is called a computer system. The additional hardware, when we add hardware and software together, that makes our computer system. Now we will move to another slide. In another slide we will discuss about input, process, output, IPO principle. So what is this IPO principle? This is IPO cycle. IPO, I for input, P for process and O for output. Our computer works on IPO principle, or we can call it input process output principle. It accepts the data, then process it by doing some mathematical or logical operation on that data and give the output to us. And I have already told you in the class that data is not meaningful, but after the processing of data which we get information or output is very meaningful. The functions which are done by computer are done by its input, processing, output and storage units. Okay, clear? Now we will move to another slide. This is for CPU, central processing unit. We can also call it microprocessor or processor. See, we all have brains. We think from our brain. For example, I will give you two numbers 1 and 2 to add. I ask you to add these two numbers. You will use your brain and you will add 1 plus 2 is equals to 3. So this is the function of our brain. Also CPU is also called the brain of computer. We can call it microprocessor or processor. It is the most important component of a computer. It consists of 3 units. First one is arithmetic logical unit, that is ALU. Next is control unit, CU, and memory unit. Okay, so we are going to discuss about all those units in our next slide. So let's move to another slide. See, units of CPU. First one is ALU, arithmetic logic unit. Next is CU, control unit. and last one is memory unit. So I am going to zoom this image for you. See, this is CPU and how these units are connected to each other. See, first we will give input, then the processor will accept our data in binary numbers. You know what are binary numbers? Wait, I am going to tell you what is binary number. 0 and 1 are binary numbers. In your books it is given that 0 means off and 1 means on, which represent by 1 or 0. It is the arithmetic unit which handles off versus on, or we can call low versus high or 0 versus 1 decisions. Okay. See, this is the representation of 1 and 0. A single binary digit can only represent true value by 1 or false by 0. Okay. So our first unit is control unit. See, control unit controls all other units. Okay. It ensures whether computer is doing the right job or not. Just like your teacher looks at you, she keeps an eye on you, how you are performing in the class. In the same manner, control unit looks at the task of other units, how the other units are performing, whether they are doing right job or not. In between we can see another unit. It is arithmetic and logical unit. Arithmetic stands for all arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and your logic unit is used to perform logical operations. Logical operations means, I have a slide for explaining that also. Here I have an example for both arithmetic part and logical part. Okay, so arithmetic part, as I have already told you, I will give you two digits to calculate them or to add them, just like 1 plus 2 is equals to 3. So this work is done by the arithmetic unit. And what is the task of logic unit? See, here it is given that 2 is greater than 1. So what is the task of logic unit here? It is used here to compare two digits. 2 is greater than 1. It means it is comparing that there are two digits. One is 2 and another one is 1. So 2 is greater. So what it is doing? It is comparing two digits. This is the task of logic unit. Okay. Arithmetic and logical unit is where the CPU performs the arithmetic and logic operations. I have already discussed the CU, the control unit. The control unit controls the flow of data within the system. Control unit controls and monitors communication between hardware attached to the computer. Now move to our last unit, memory unit. So what is this memory? See, whenever we learn anything, where does it store? It stores into our memory, na? It stores into our memory. We learn and then that thing stores into our memory. Memory can be temporary or permanent, है ना? It is actually a work area of computer where the CPU stores the data and instruction. What is memory unit? It is the part of computer which hold data and instruction for processing. See, we can call it main memory or primary memory, or we can say internal memory. Here we have few examples of memory unit. See, hard disk. This is hard disk. After that we have RAM, random access memory, ROM. We will study about RAM, ROM and all other memory devices, or we can call storage devices, in other chapters. So for now I will give you a brief description. See, memory card. Where is memory card used? We use memory card in our phones, है ना? It is a chip like thing, and we use it to store songs, images, videos. Next we have pen drives. Pen drive is like a very small object. It is also used to store videos, images, music, and all other documents also. It is also a storage device. Now we will move to system unit. Our next topic is system unit. What is system unit? We can call system unit as CPU box also. CPU box that houses our computer, but it does not include monitor, keyboard, mouse, or any other peripheral device. See, CD DVD drive, we can place our CD or DVDs inside this drive slot. Next one is USB port. After that, audio in or out port, and this one is power button, which is used to start up. Okay, now see the ports. This is the back side of this system unit, or we can call the back side of our CPU box. Here we can see a lot of ports. So what is port? A port is an interface between a computer to another computer or peripheral device. A mainly used port is the USB port. So what is that port? There is a space on the back side of our CPU in which we can connect other devices. These sockets or plug-in points are known as ports. See, these sockets. In these sockets we will connect or plug in our devices. Now, well, this topic is not included in your syllabus, difference between system unit and CPU, but you should know what is the difference between a system unit and a CPU. So what is system unit? It is the computer system's part or unit. It is just a part of computer system. It is a small unit of system unit. Next, system unit contains or provide the power supply to entire computer system. Understand? It will provide power supply to entire computer system, whereas CPU does not have any kind of power supply. Okay, this is the difference between system unit and CPU, which you should know. And also you should know the full form of CPU. CPU stands for Central Processing Unit. Next we move to motherboard. So what is the motherboard? Inside the system unit is the main board. We can call it main board also. Motherboard is also known as main board. It consists of circuits. See, here are very small circuits. We can see that, है ना? There are very small circuits. They are used to process data and instruction. And what is this? This is microprocessor chip. This is microprocessor chip, and you can see that where it is located in our microprocessor. Here it is located, and it looks like this. See this. This is microprocessor, and its structure is like this. Just look at here. Here a picture is given in your book. See, motherboard, and in motherboard there is a microprocessor chip of Intel, and its structure is like this. Okay, and this is our system unit, the back side of CPU, or we can call it cabinet. We can see a lot of connection sockets here, keyboard, mouse ports, microphone, speaker, etc. See, here we will connect our microphone. These are the slots now. So we will connect our microphones or speaker here. Monitor cable port, here we will attach or we can connect our monitor. Parallel port used to connect printer. See, this slot is used to connect printer. Mouse port to connect mouse. On the another side, here we are given on or off switch, power cord plug, this one, keyboard port, USB ports, serial port 1 and 2. These sockets or plug-in points are called ports. Each connection port is made to fit into its plug-in device. The ports include monitor cable port, mouse and keyboard ports, network cable port, microphone speaker and other auxiliary output input ports, and printer port. There is also a port, this one, that. If you have any problem in this topic or any topic, you can ask me, okay? I will tell you or explain it to you with another method also. Let's move to another topic, which is peripheral device. So what is it? Peripheral device mean? A peripheral device is a device that is connected to a computer system but is not a part of core computer system. What does it mean? That it will connect to a computer system but not a part of computer system. What does it mean? So it will be made clear to you by this diagram. See, there are a lot of devices which are connected to our computer system but it is not a part of computer system. See, printer. All these devices can be connected to our computer system by using serial ports, USB ports or parallel ports, or we can connect it by using networks. For example, in today's era we can connect any device by hotspot also. Okay, printer can be also connected without USB port. Okay, there are a lot of devices which are wireless and still can be connected to our computer system. See, here is trackball. First of all, here is a trackball alternative to mouse. This can be used in place of mouse. See, this is connected by a USB port to our computer system. We can see now there is a wire which is connected to the CPU box. Another one is computer projector. It is also connected to our computer system by using a USB port. Another one is scanner. This is scanner. Next we can see a modem, mouse, microphone and speaker, and a printer also. So all these devices are called peripheral devices. Why peripheral devices? Because they are connected to our computer system with the help of USB ports. That is why we can call them peripheral devices. For example, if I remove any of the device, for example, I want to remove printer. So if I disconnect the wire, so what happens with my printer will no more work because the USB port disconnect from my computer system. In the same manner, if I remove those USB from computer projector or trackball or mouse, modem, scanner, any device, if I disconnect any device from my computer system, then all the work done by peripheral device will not be done. It will not be done because that cable will be disconnected by us from our computer system. And we have already seen where our device will be they will be connect in our system unit on the back side of it. Here is the connection sockets. Here we will attach USB ports so that our work. If I disconnect, there is an example given in your book. Here is an example given in your book that if you disconnect a keyboard, you will not be able to type information. है ना? If you will disconnect your device, then how it could be possible that you will type anything? But even without keyboard, you will be able to work with the graphic user interface by clicking the mouse. There are some tasks that can be done by mouse also, है ना? All hardware except the memory, microprocessor and motherboard are called peripheral device. Please underline this. All hardware except the memory of computer, its microprocessor and motherboard. Excepting these three things, all the hardware which are connected to our computer system are peripheral device. In our book we can also see the example. Monitor, scanner, light pen, web camera, speakers, mouse, keyboard. So students, I hope you will learn those things which I have told you. Our first topic was computer system. In this slide I told you about the difference between computer and computer system, and after that we study about IPO cycle, or we can call it input process output principle, about CPU, and the full form of CPU is central processing unit. Please keep in mind this full form. Keep in your mind what is the full form of CPU. And another name of CPU is microprocessor or processor. And which part of computer is known as brain of computer? So our answer is CPU. After that we studied about units of CPU. We have 3 units given in our books or in this presentation. First one is control unit, next one is arithmetical logical unit, and last one is memory unit. We use arithmetic logic unit for performing all arithmetic operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and logical operation. What are arithmetic functions? Our addition, subtraction, multiplication. I also gave you an example related to ALU, that 1 plus 2 is equals to 3. This kind of problem will be dealt by the arithmetic unit, and if there is any task related to comparison will be done by logical unit. See, first one is example of arithmetic unit and last one is the example of logic unit. Next we have binary system. How does our computer work or accepts data. Computer uses binary system to store data and compute functions. Here 1 is for on and 0 is for off. You can also use this switch. You can see the switch here. It is written on for 1 and 0 for off. It is the arithmetic unit which handles off versus on, or we can call low versus high or 0 versus 1 decisions. Like we understand Hindi, English, in the same manner computer has its own language. It understands the binary system. It accepts the data in our form. After that it will convert that data into its own language and then process it also in its own language. But when we receive output, it will be received to us in our language in which we have given the input or data. The control unit, as I have already told you, that it keeps an eye on other units, or we can call the whole computer. It checks whether the computer is doing right job or not. Like your teacher, like your parents, they look at you whether you are doing your homework in proper way or not. In the same manner, control unit keeps an eye on the other parts of computer or other units we can call. Third unit is memory unit. Memory, where all the data and instruction saves for processing. Memory stores program, instruction or data as long as the program remains. System unit, it is also called CPU box. Here we are given slots to insert CD or DVDs. Floppy drive slot is also there. On off switch or power button we can call it. USB port, audio in out port. This is the opposite or back side of the port. We call it cabinet. We can see a lot of sockets here in which we can connect our ports. We can connect our peripheral device. And what are those devices which are not peripheral device? All hardware except memory, microprocessor and motherboard. All hardware devices except these three, memory, microprocessor and motherboard, all are peripheral devices. Our complete hardware except memory, microprocessor and motherboard are called peripheral device. Also we have differentiate between system unit and CPU. System unit provides power supply, whereas CPU does not have any kind of power supply. This is motherboard. We can also call it main board of the computer system. This is also called the main board. Here is our microprocessor, and our microprocessor is like this. And our motherboard consists of a circuit, and these circuits are used to process data and instruction. Our last topic was peripheral device. Peripheral device means all the hardware which are connected by using a USB port are called peripheral device. A device that is connect to a computer system but is not a part of core computer system. This is not a part of computer system, but we can attach our hardware by using USB ports. So our chapter is completed. We have also completed the question you all were in school. So I will check your copies. So make a PDF of your copies and send it to me. Okay. Also I will take your test at the end of month. So be prepared. You have to learn tick the correct answer. You have to learn true false and you have to learn short notes on, which are given on page number 6 of your book. Thank you so much.